12th Kimberley Process Plenary, which was held in Washington, D.C., resolved to end the 2011 Kinshasa administrative decision on Zimbabwe and to allow the unconditional trade in Marange diamonds. Now, to discuss more on this, we are joined in the studio by Mr. Tafadzwa Msarara, who is from the Resources Exploitation Watch Trust, and he was also part of the delegates that attended that said conference. Good morning and a warm welcome to Weekend Morning.
Thank you.
All right. Now, what is the impact of this plenary's outcome as far as the selling of our Marange diamonds is concerned?
What it means is that Zimbabwe itself, or the Minister of Mines, is now a KP authority. It can sell the diamonds on its own, certify them without external monitoring. As you know, in 2011, the Kinshasa administrative decision said, go ahead to mine and sell, but under monitoring. Okay. So it's equivalent to somebody who get a provisional driver's license. Right. To say you can drive, but you have to drive under supervision. But now Zimbabwe's with a complete and a full license to sell its own diamonds without any external monitoring. Safe to say, though, that it will be subjected to the usual peer review.
All right. Now, there was no consensus on the reformation of the Kimberley process, like, for example, the how to define the so-called blood diamonds. And this process is set to continue as South Africa's tenure as KP chair. Do you think the U.S. is going to then go on and be able to be successful in doing those reforms that they had?
No. We don't think the U.S. is going to be successful. This motion was mainly sponsored by DBS because this whole diamond trade for years has been a cartel where DBS has been the biggest supplier. And trying to include issues of violence as part of blood diamonds has been rejected by many African countries because it's so wide, so vague, and KP itself has no mechanism to come and investigate whether there was violence or no violence. But what is important to note is that the mandate of KP was given to it by the United Nations Security Council. So if you want to change the mandate, you just go back to the Security Council and say, we have achieved what you wanted us to do, but we think that the mandate has to change. So you can't have a subcommittee appointed trying to change its own mandate. You have to go back to the principles.
All right. And having said that, now what is your assessment of the US's chair of the KP?
The KP chair was conflicted, and this came out very clear at the Victoria Falls Diamond Conference. The KP department, or the KP secretariat, was under the U.S. Treasury, Department of Treasury. Under that same department, there's an office that is called the Office of Freezing of Assets Control, which is called OFAC, which is the one that is making sure that sanctions in Zimbabwe continue to bite. This is the same, they're under one department or under one ministry. No, they cannot, on the other hand, now say, KP, yes, is the chair, we allow you to sell your diamonds. Then their sister section or sister department is saying, no, if any money that goes to the mines via New York, they freeze it. And to date, $30 million has been frozen, which was money that was supposed to go to ZMDC. So really, the KP chair was conflicted. However, they tried to play it smart by making sure that Zimbabwe certification is issued during their chairmanship. But in essence, it means nothing. They agree on the unfettered sale of diamonds as KP, and then on their own now, they still don't want those mines to receive the money. What happens is that if anyone sends money from India or wherever to Mbada Diamonds, to Anjini, in US dollars, naturally it goes through New York because it's a US dollar currency, but they're freezing those money. So really, they were conflicted in that regard.
All right. Now, coming back to the unfettered sale of diamonds, as you put it, how best can Zimbabwe take advantage of this development?
There are two sanctions regimes that are affecting the sale of mines. One is the US sanctions, and the second is the EU sanctions. We foresee that, at least with the EU, we know that they're going to review in February. With the American sanctions, we don't know when they're going to review. And we hope that if the sanctions is widely speculated, if the EU sanctions are removed in February, at least the mines can sell in euros because the money will come via Europe.
Right.
And if they remove those European sanctions, we'll be able to trade. With regards to American sanctions, I think the government of Zimbabwe has to pump up its fight. It has to step it up a bit, because the problem with OFAC is that it's not only just freeze money. It goes to India and intimidate any would-be buyers of diamonds. That if you go there and do Zimbabwe, we also deal with you.
All right.
You see.
And finally, Mr. Msarara, what can we expect from South Africa as the KP chair?
South Africa is the founding chair of the Kimberley process, and next year when it's take over the chairmanship, it will coincide with the 10-year anniversary. You know, the word Kimberley process came after that. The first meeting was held in Kimberley in South Africa, and South Africa has been fully behind Zimbabwe. And the other good thing is that China is also the vice chair. So what it means is that automatically when the chairmanship of South Africa comes to an end in 2013, China takes over. So we see quite a lot of changes that will be in favor of African diamond producing countries. All
right, Mr. Msarara, thank you so much for coming here to Weekend Morning.
Thank you so much.
I was speaking there to Tafadzwa Msarara, is the Resources Exploitation Watch Trust. He was from the Resources Exploitation Watch Trust, and he was also part of the delegation that attended the 2012 Kimberley Process Plenary, which was held in Washington, D.C., and he was just reviewing some of those developments that took place there. And of course, that does it for Sunbiz this morning. Up next is the Health Check. Stay with us.